Skipton Station opened in October 1848 and was part of the Leeds and Bradford's Railway. With the East Lancashire Railway reaching Colne from Burnley in February 1849 and the completion of the Liverpool, Ormskirk and Preston Railway in April 1849, a through route from Leeds to Liverpool was then established. This is where it kind of starts, from Skipton, which is just over in that direction there. And the railway came over a beautiful bridge type viaduct, spanned across onto here, making its way towards Colne. There's not much left now, is there? Stations between Skipton and Colne were built at Elslack, Thornton-in-Craven, Earby and Foulridge. A branch from Earby to Barnoldswick was opened in 1871. So this is kind of the beginning, the first embankment, the first viaduct from Skipton going into that direction, and we're actually stood on the old track bed, which the majority of it, breezy day, the majority of it is still able to get access to. So apart from the embankment and a few blocks of limestone that perhaps lying around coming from Skipton, there's not much else to see. But the next station along the line, our next stop, is Elslack, a very small rural railway station. I don't think there'll be much there either, but let's go and have a look. And these is what's left of the station grounds. It's chiefly owned now by a private company. There's private property over there. But the grounds all across here is where the station was, going over the road, coming into the village. There's a couple of stone buildings and little bits of remnants left. Other than that, not much else to see. Still exciting though to be here and think once upon a time there was plenty of rail activity going over this line. The swell thing is actually, I can just peek in through a little gap in the gate here into the land itself where the station used to be, without being obvious walking around and causing a bit of a panic on. There is little bits lying around which potentially could be part of the railway. You can see the concrete area of the ground down here. We're assuming where it would have been driven, they could have driven up straight into the grounds of the station. But just over here, where the embankment is, where the cars were underneath, there would have been a bridge for the train to go over of the roadway across this section here. So in fairness, the railway line came from those double doors off and that warehouse there, straight across that area, in and out to Colne. One minute it's beautiful sunshine, the next it's now snowing. You don't often see that in Blackpool, it's nice to see. I've still got my sunshades on. So this is Elslack, the area of where Elslack station was. And we're going to travel along the embankment. We're actually going to drive on the A59 and go to the next stop, which is Thornton-in-Craven. But before that, there's an old quarry, a limestone quarry that was served by the railway line. We're a little bit unsure when it was built, and we think it was closed around about 1930. It's snowing. Go on.
It's snowing.
Just before, that water was amazing. Just before we go to Thornton-in-Craven, there's an old limestone quarry, and this is the bridge that used to go over and head off in that direction. Now luckily enough you can go on there and have a walk, and that's exactly where me and Fuzzy are going to go after another drink. This is the proper exploring now, boys on tour business. Thinks there's a beaver beetle in the dam.
What the hell? That's a massive tunnel. Yeah, that's weird and interesting. That's rock on. Anywhere you can get in there?
Well, I've been told sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but like I said, it will be flooded, so the likelihood is we're getting in pretty slim. But this is quite clearly the cutting to where the trains used to come in, hence why we put our welly bobs on.
It's like all dusty because we've been stepping on it. Look at that out. Egg at the top. Hey, look. Bob one, we could do the job.
Just see, can you see the North Portal, the light?
Yeah. It's just not far down, you can see something floating.
Oliver, as usual, being a proper lad. 1984 all over again. And I think we found a way in.
You see the bottom?
But I'm not going to show you.
No. Stinks, pretty fine.
Hey?
Stinks, well that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks way...
This is the torch.
You know what?
Are you alright?
It's got my tippy toes. I could do that over time, but I'm not doing it.
This is, yeah, found a way in. Quite easy, but it is very deep in parts. It might actually go over our Wellington boots, so I'm not in the mood for getting wet. But it's quite exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it's just went down. Oh, it's just went down. Oh, it's just, no, it's freezing. I'm not even on my tippy toesies. I think water's dropping down, it's making splashes, I guess.
What do you think of this?
It's actually really fun.
You enjoying it?
Yeah.
I'm keeping him safe.
Comment down below if you see any paranormal stuff.
Oh, we're on the home dry. Real land.
It's me, I can't find it. It's perfect for me.
quarry was owned by P.W. Spencer. The opening date is not known, but it's assumed it was closed around 1930. A single track to the quarry off the Skipton and Colne line proceeded into the cutting and the tunnel. Sidings close to the main line north over a lane with a short loop before it got to the tunnel under the Skipton and Colne road off to the quarry.
No, it's not snowing again. Just seen a sign that says if you work out where this place is and you do come, I believe there is a way in without coming through the tunnel. But it was good, it was fun. But Oliver's just reading a sign that says that if you found this place, there's a threat that they might fence it off so you can't get here. So if you do come here, don't light fires, don't draw attention to yourself, and take your litter home. But I warn you, that's the quarry. It is absolutely loaded with water and snow soon. So don't go swimming. Keep out, keep away. But this is why I do these videos. Not only because it's snowing, and it's fantastic what we found.
It's such a beautiful sight.
It's such a beautiful sight, to be honest.
Don't go swimming in quarries.
Yeah, what's that?
Is it like really cold?
It's not just really cold, it's really deep. We'll show you the pond, and then we'll head back to our next station, which is Thornton-in-Craven, before we make our way towards Colne.
Well, that was pretty awesome. Didn't expect to be able to go as far into the tunnel as that and do all the exploring with my little thunder buddy hiding behind me down there. We've got a feet dry. Back on the A59 now, going to Thornton-in-Craven railway station, which isn't too far from here, just over there. We'll find out what's left of that station too. So this is the trap bed, and the quarry junction comes off just behind the camera here, went off in that way where we were before, and you can clearly see the line, trap bed itself, the remnants of it, and it's surprising to see how much you can actually walk along here. And just behind the camera to my left hand side is the old station house, and the station itself was a main staple of the line. Like the rest of the stations, opened at a similar time, October 1848, along this stretch. But Elslack was one of the first stations to close. That closed quite early compared to the others. And it's only 50 years ago since passenger trains-ish came along this line. But what a difference in 50 years. That's one thing that strikes me about looking at these trap beds after a certain amount of time. 50 years isn't very much, is it? And to think there's a chance that Drax freight trains could be coming from Liverpool and going to the power station in Yorkshire along here is a bit mind-boggling. I found the platform. I did read that the platform might be visible, and I've just been stood next to it. And it's the platform. I've just found the platform. It's not drug, it's behind you. There's the platform. So this will be the Colne bound platform, and possibly there is the Skipton platform across there. Tickled pink. There you go. Oh, I've got to have a walk on it now, haven't I? Now I'm here. I did read it was visible. I was looking in that direction, but I've just anyway. The Skipton to Colne line was not listed for closure as part of the Dr Beeching's 1963 The Reshaping of British Railways report. However, the line closed in February 1970, with the Barnoldswick branch having earlier closed in September 1965. I'm not too sure of the location of the railway station. I'm kind of thinking that it was just over here underneath this bridge. It's a little bit difficult to try and patch it. I've used old maps, but I think I'm in a general idea of what it is. When the railway station was originally built and as part of the line from 1849, it was then taken over by the Midland Railway. They had it for a bit, a little bit sooner in fact, and they just added in Craven on the end to it. Obviously to their portfolio they might have had another Thornton station somewhere, not to get confused. This is coming from Skipton across this little bridge here. My suggestion is that the station is actually just down there.
Platforms and the main building survived up until 1976. The goods shed and the former weighbridge is still there, and it has been bought by a local engineering company. This is adapted for commercial use, while the site and the former railway alignment have been protected from potential redevelopment by Lancashire County Council, pending possible future reinstatement of the route as a transport corridor.
There is another station, Foulridge, which is just over the other side of the road there, about a 2-minute drive. I had difficulty finding that, plus there was no good signal on the phone, and generally there's quite a lot of housing there. But we did manage to find ourselves at the end of the live line here at Colne, and that block there is as far as the live line goes, with a sports pitch and a few other bits left in the way. And this is where, funny enough, that my line on the South Fard line in Blackpool, South Shore, the train service leaves Blackpool South and actually comes here to Colne. So it's a bit of a homage for me. I could nip on the train and go home if I wanted to, but it's nice to see and land here and find out what there is left and what's stopping the trains from going further into Yorkshire now that we've landed here in Lancashire.